All right. Hi, everybody. Dave Olsolnik here. So I'm the Vision Brand Manager here at iMatrix. I think we have a few more people who are going to be trickling in, but that's okay. We'll let them just sort of join us on the fly. We're going to go ahead and get started. Oh, boy. Okay, so there we go. So if we haven't met, here I am. Today, as we start today's webinar, I'd like to kind of kick things off with, I would say, start by asking yourself two questions. The first is, one, is your website mobile responsive? The second question is, does my website include video? Now, if you answered no or I don't know to one or both of these, then this is going to be a good webinar because there have been some changes of late, and we're going to get into that. So, in today's webinar, what we're looking to discuss here is basically the power of mobile and media, those two things together. Media specifically in the form of video, and the goal there is to discuss how to make a website really stand out. We really want it to pop, and we want to increase the organic traffic that is going to that website to improve the search rankings of the website. And also, with all of this, we're trying to attract the ideal patient, not just more patients. Every office, every doctor I talk to says, well, yeah, I'd like more patients, but I think what they're really saying is, I want more of the ideal patient, and of course, ways to get the brand out there more, the brand of our businesses and our practices. So by adding these two simple yet very effective components to the web presence, you will see an increase in web traffic, which essentially what that means is more prospective patients that are coming into the site. And at the end of the day, this translates into helping more people and improving your practice's overall success, which, of course, we all want that. So with that, we'll dive in here. These are the objectives of what we're going to be covering today. We want to talk about what it is to have a mobile responsive website, what that means and why it's crucial, what the value of video on a website is, and again, why that is increasingly crucial these days. We're going to talk about the types of things you can feature in the video. A lot of times doctors come to us and they say, well, I need some guidance. I've never shot a video before. That's okay. We'll get into that as well. Get into Video Marketing 101. For a lot of folks, that's a new frontier. And then talk about some additional things you're going to want to keep in mind as you go through this process. So with that, we'll dive right in. So why is mobile responsive so crucial all of a sudden? Well, as many of you may or may not know, on April 21st of this past month, Google released its latest algorithm update. And what this algorithm does is it's starting to penalize websites that are not mobile friendly. Now, currently what that means is if you have no mobile version of a website or a web presence, Google is starting to crack down on that. And I'm using the word mobile responsive because that's the latest version of mobile. So without getting too technical or too ticky-tacky, just know that the ultimate goal, and this is what all the major search engines are driving toward, is they want everybody to be on a mobile responsive website. What that means is that the website reshapes to fit the screen of whatever device you're on. That's where the technology is going, and that's why we use that technology here at iMatrix. So we've been trying to get ahead of that curve from the get-go, so we've been using that technology for years now. So they're cracking down on the non-responsive websites, and again, this is Google just trying to have an ongoing commitment to create a good user experience on the front end. So if your website is not mobile friendly or mobile responsive at this point, it's likely that Google has already started penalizing it, and you're going to find that over time, those penalties will only become more dramatic as they continue to push you down in the search rankings because you're not playing along with the mobile game. Now, not ranking on the first page, if this becomes bad enough to where you're pushed below that first page of Google, we're finding that 75% of users online never scroll past the first page. So if you fall below where you're not showing up on the first page anymore, obviously that's where it starts to impact the business, and that's what we can't have. That's what we want to avoid with this knowledge here today. So the takeaway is that you need to have a mobile responsive website for two main reasons. First, it provides users with a friendly interface, something that's going to work on the smartphone, something that's going to work on the tablet, because again, these are the devices that people use today. It's less and less the desktop computer, it's more the mobile devices. And the second thing is having a mobile-friendly website it helps to improve your search ranking. So prospective patients can find you and find you easily. And we know if you're looking out in your waiting room right now, I bet you would see people glued to their cell phones. If you're waiting in line at the store, people all around you looking at their cell phones. If you're driving, I've seen this the other day. I was on the highway. I looked to my left. I saw somebody texting on their phone. So sometimes it's alarming, but this is the life we live in. People are using mobile devices, so we've got to have the technology to cater to that. So now the other piece of the equation for today, talking about the need for video and why is that so increasingly crucial now? Well, the first thing is video makes your website 50 times more likely to appear on Google's first search engine results page compared to a site without video. And I'm sure we all know, or we've heard at some point, Google owns YouTube. They bought them a number of years ago, and the reason they bought them was they saw overwhelmingly people love video. It's the world we live in. People would rather click the play button and watch it than sit there and try to read or skim, right? So Google saw that trend. They bought YouTube, and now Google is all about recommending websites that offer a video presence. So the number two thing is that videos, they increase the visitor's understanding of your service by 74%, okay? And 90% of users say that seeing a video about a product or a service is helpful to the decision process. So a lot of times doctors will say, well, you know, I feel that, you know, patients would want to come and see me for this or that reason. My patient care is second to none. I take more time. The office presence is just more attractive than the offices around me. Well, we're finding that if you can display those aspects in a video, it really helps facilitate the decision-making process, and that might be the difference between getting that patient in the door or not, quite frankly. The third thing is that 80% of your online visitors will watch a video, while only 20% will actually read the text or content in its entirety. I'll say that again. 80% of people watch the video, only 20% will actually attempt to read, and that I'm going to emphasize attempt to read. A lot of times they just skim. And so again, we're finding that video is the fastest, easiest, and friendliest way to communicate the best information for your practice. So we highly recommend that. So just to sort of summarize, if you want to increase the likelihood that your website will both appear on the first page of a search engine result and simultaneously help prospective patients understand your practice, your philosophy, the way in which you go about eye care services, in doing those things, helping to increase the chance that they will choose you over a colleague or a competitor, then we're finding that the video gives that edge, and that's what everybody's sort of going to these days. Okay, so the types of things you can feature in the video, just a couple of things, some notes to take down here. What do people want to see in the video? The number one thing, you the doctor, you the staff, you the individuals that they will ultimately be coming in to see. So we always recommend introduce yourself, your practice, and help to answer the questions that would be likely posed by a prospective patient. Why should I come and see this doctor? Why do I want to come in and see this individual instead of another? Okay, the number two thing is patient reviews and testimonials. We're finding that when other patients speak about why they chose your practice, why they like you as a doctor or you as an office, it goes so much further than the practice trying to say it about itself. So testimonials are fantastic. Video testimonials are worth their weight in gold. So if you have some patients that you've known for a number of years, maybe on a first-name basis, those are the individuals that I highly, highly recommend. We've seen tremendous results in terms of online conversions. Conversions meaning somebody didn't just land on the website, but they signed up, came in, and obviously they became a patient. That's what we're after. The number three thing, practice announcements. So video provides an excellent platform, I'd say, for you to broadcast updates or news to your patients in a way that's, again, it's easily accessible. It's a click of a button and they're getting the message. So for example, you can upload video content about new locations if you're expanding, or if you've got this new great piece of equipment that you've added to the practice, video is a fantastic way to promote that. The other thing that we typically encourage here is demonstrations, interviews, and even live event coverage. Demonstrations, excellent ways to share your knowledge about eye care topics, techniques, technology. And again, look at this from the patient's perspective. If they're able to see another person going through the process, having an exam of a certain type, they're much more likely to be able to envision themselves going through that process, and that helps facilitate getting more patients in the door. So it's another great aspect of video. So video marketing one-on-one. Here's a couple of pointers to add to the pile that we've already talked about. Number one, pick the type of patient you want to attract. We got to think about who is it we're trying to get into the office, who is that ideal patient, right? So the most important thing to consider when putting together a video is determining what kind of patient you want to attract to your business. Once you have decided that, you can customize your video so they appeal to that targeted demographic. So for instance, if you can use information from your current patients to help customize your videos for prospective patients, that's great. If your current patients have mentioned, let's say, that they like your staff members, you can make a video that focuses on meeting the team. Using information like this, again, it helps you to customize your videos so they appeal to your targeted demographic and allows prospective patients to gain an insight into your practice. In this particular example, at Meet the Team, it allows the prospective patients, I kind of lost my thought there, it allows prospective patients to see your medical team and hear them speak, which if I can see you, that's so much more effective than trying to imagine who you are, what you might look like. So take some time, do some research, use the previous marketing campaigns that you have seen work in your practice and use those. That's really the idea here. And so iMatrix, we've had the opportunity to work with hundreds of doctors on video campaigns, specifically eye doctors wanting to employ video, and we've really refined the process. So we've really gotten it to where we can quickly determine each practice's what I call the recipe for success. Every practice is different. Every practice has different unique elements, but we've figured out how to package that in the most effective way so that somebody can land on the site, find the video easily, get educated, and come in your door, and come in your door in again, what I call a buying state of mind. For doctors who really want to drive frame sales or things of that nature, the video is a great way to accelerate that process and drive sales and increase revenue per patient. As I say that, the last note here is establish your goals, right? Maybe revenue per patient isn't your goal. Maybe there's some other goal, and video can enhance that. But what we want to do is help to determine what it is you want to accomplish and how can a strategic video marketing campaign achieve those goals. So once we're able to define what it is we're trying to do, obviously we're more able to do it. And as we're putting together this video campaign, it's important to also think about distribution. You'll want to decide which communication channels to use to get the video out there, keeping in mind the best way to optimize for video traffic is to include relevant keywords on the website to drive, when somebody does that search online, they're able to find their way to the site and then find the video, right? So we could talk more about that. That's kind of a ticky-tacky note, but it is helpful. Your practice's website and Facebook page obviously are great places to start. We always recommend consider putting your videos on a customized YouTube channel. That's something that we set up for all of our doctors here with some of our services that pertain to the video component. We're realizing that the YouTube channel is critical. It's what Google's looking for. It's obviously their own product, so they like to see you using it, so that only helps. And then you're also able to monitor the number of views you get, which is helpful. So you can optimize your YouTube channel, put in relevant keywords and links so that your people are just more able to find that video more quickly. In addition, it's important for the reasons I discussed earlier, make sure that your videos are optimized for mobile viewing to ensure that no one is excluded from watching your visual content. The point of the video is to get it out there, so obviously let's get it out there. And the final note, and this is not to be glossed over or diminished just because we put it last, it's, I'd say, as important as any other step, include a call to action. So critical. At the end of this campaign, we've gone to all this effort, we've put together all this great information, we've made it accessible. So the final step is we have to have a call to action. Tell people what the next step is. Sign up here. Reserve this voucher for service now, or just sign up for an appointment, request an appointment, make an appointment. Whatever it is, they need that little last bit of guidance to nudge them in the right direction. Otherwise, everything we've done to this point is in vain. Now, additional things, some considerations, things to keep in mind. Always make sure that your video is being created to serve a purpose. If you upload a video just for the sake of having a video, well, we're running the risk of patients just ignoring the updates. So keep the videos interesting, informative, and of course relevant. Keep your brand in mind when creating your video. The goal of the video should be to provide information about your practice, helping prospective patients understand how you can assist them. We recommend don't make the videos too long. Our digital culture, it's fairly impatient, which is a nice way of saying people nowadays, they don't pay attention after a certain length. So make sure the videos are short to the point. We recommend about 90 seconds for a full-length video introduction. Choose the time wisely. Similar to what I've said before, we want to establish the purpose or the message of the video near the beginning, so people kind of understand where we're going with this. And there's no guarantee that someone will watch the video to the end, so that's why we want to get as much of the point across early on, and if you've done everything else right, they should stick with it. Focusing on a single message is another key point. I'm sure you've probably had somebody ask you a double-barrel question. It causes confusion, and it's disruptive, and it's hard to maintain focus. So our rule is much the same as it applies to video marketing. Video should have a single message to ensure that we have a clear focus and people come away with real understanding. And again, here too, we want to make sure that, again, you've got a good, clear call to action in the video itself. So the call to action should compel the prospective patient whenever you're encouraging them to schedule an appointment or stop by the practice. Without a call to action, something that says it explicitly, again, we run the risk of losing that patient. And, of course, the old adage holds true with video. As with anything, quality tends to trump quantity. So we want to have a good quality production standard to the video. Should be high definition, which has a better chance of maintaining the viewer's interest over one that looks granular, like we made it on an old VHS recorder, right? So that's another aspect of the program here. We've really endeavored to have a robust video component. We want to send a professional team out that's going to take the cinematography aspects, take them seriously. Really go out and attempt to tell the story of each practice in a way that is going to resonate with an audience and drive a result. And that result is get people in the door. That's really the goal. Or educate the people that visit your site, whichever. So you can kind of go in either or both directions with that. And so here, just to kind of wrap things up, and thank you again for all your time, just to put maybe some closing notes on it, harnessing the power of mobile and media has been what we're talking about here. In this day and age, more and more people are doing searches on mobile devices, and once they find you, we're finding they just don't want to read anymore. So today we've covered the importance of having a mobile-friendly website that includes the video component, as well as some of the basics of what to include in the video and how to maximize your video marketing efforts. If anything that I went over today or we covered today seems either overwhelming or unclear and you'd like more information, of course, don't hesitate to contact us here at iMatrix. We'd be happy to give you a more personalized walkthrough on this information on a one-on-one basis. We like to tailor the presentations to each practice. This is sort of general information, but we'd love to talk to you on a one-on-one basis if that works for you. Just some fun facts. Currently, we are the fastest growing online marketing agency in this industry, and we offer mobile-friendly, mobile responsive website designs and other brand-specific online marketing solutions. So we've talked about a few of them today. One of the signatures that we really hang our hats on with some pride here is including the professionally shot HD videos and local video ads. So if this is an area where you see your business wanting to go, we can certainly help you with that. And we just had a question pop up asking about cost of website designs. That's a timely question. I promise that wasn't from a plant. Thank you for your question. I would say this, and this might not be the most satisfying answer, but we can give more details on that. Obviously, we're a full-scale service, so for any business, it's a matter of what you want to accomplish and how much you want to do. So we'd have to talk on a one-on-one basis just to see what your strategic goals are and obviously what you'd like your campaign to look like. But we can go anywhere from less than a cell phone up to as aggressively as you'd like to go, just to kind of give you a range there. So with that, if anyone else has other questions besides more specific to each practice questions, you can submit those in the written format. And what we will do is, if you want to take a moment and type in any questions. Okay. So having a couple more questions come in here, so I'll just take them in order. So one question is, are videos more important than SEO? That's a good question. That's an interesting question. It is an interesting question. I would say, number one, video plays into SEO, so they're not two completely different things. I think having video on a web presence is something that Google's looking for, and that is part of their getting you found equation. They want to see videos on the website, so it's not altogether different from SEO. But to my mind, I mean, I'm sort of a web marketing purist in the sense that I think, truthfully, it all starts with SEO. SEO standing for search engine optimization, which is just a fancy way of saying, am I in essence built to get found online? So if you don't have good SEO, having a good video isn't going to much matter because no one's finding your website and therefore no one's seeing your video. So I think the two are, in this day and age, the two are indispensable. You have to get found online, and then once people find you, they have to see a video that quickly paints the picture of why they ought to do business with you so that they can make that decision, because we know with life and the hustle and the bustle, and you have to pick the kids up and you have to go to work and everyone's running late all the time. If you don't get the answer immediately, you're probably moving on or sacrificing the eye care that you need. Another question. What else do we do besides website design? Okay, and this is the same individual who asked about the cost earlier, so I promise this is not an arranged questioning here. Besides website design, besides the video piece, what else do we offer? We offer social media management. So if social media is something you need help with, we do that. We do online directory information cleanup. We do paid ads as well. So we're able to run PPC campaigns. We buy Google AdWords. So if somebody types in a certain keyword and that keyword typically means that somebody's searching for something that you do, we can have it so that your business is showing up in the ad section. So we run custom paid ad campaigns as well as custom SEO. Next question is, doesn't video optimize SEO? Yeah, I think we covered that. So the video plays into the SEO. Another question here is, what is online directory cleanup? That's another good question. So let's take a sip of water here. It's a sign I've been talking too much at length. So when we say online directory cleanup, what that means is there are a number of directories online where your business's information is able to be found. The big ones would be places like Google+, your Google+ location. There's also Yelp is another big one. Those are the big directories. But there's other ones out there like Yellow Pages, DMOZ, City Search, you name it. There's probably over 100 or so, I'd say, in total. And so what a directory cleanup service seeks to do is make sure that your business's correct name, address, phone number, and wherever possible, a link to the actual website. I want to make sure that that information is correct. And it's important for a couple of reasons. Obviously, if somebody's trying to find you, we want to make sure that they've got the right information to do so. But the flip side of that is, remember, when we talk about SEO, we're talking about the search engines assessing your business and trying to determine, hey, is this valid? Is this something I, as a search engine, want to promote to the top of my list? Is this something that I can say with confidence, now this is a machine, mind you, but the thought process of that machine is such that it's trying to determine quickly, is this the best thing I can recommend to the searcher right now? And if that search engine looks online to corroborate the information it sees about you on your website to validate, is this true, is this accurate, and it sees different information on all the different directories, it's going to trip red flags. And it's going to say, okay, hold on, this might not be right, this isn't accurate, I'm seeing inaccuracies. And again, these are computer algorithms, so they can be very intelligent and very sensitive is the word I would use. So if they see one directory says 123 Green Street, and another directory says 123 Green Ave, even though maybe a human would look at that and say, okay, well, I know what you mean, it's just a typo, for the computers and for the search engines, they're not going to accept that. And so even the littlest differences in information can have an impact, a negative impact on your SEO. So we want to make sure that directories are cleaned up with tip-top information there. So anyway, that's just a couple of questions that we had there. Obviously, I think some more are going to be trickling in here. But at this point, if you have any other specific questions, feel free to reach out to us. We do appreciate you taking the time to be with us here today. Okay, got one more question. Is our system compatible with Revolution EHR in terms of connecting it to the website? Yes, actually it is. Yeah, Revolution is a good company. They are one of a few companies that offers a portal. So yeah, we have a number of different clients that use Revolution. We're familiar with that. So thumbs up on them. And there's a short list. There's some others out there that are good as well. If anyone knows Liquid or Crystal or CompuLink, there's a whole list of companies that we're able to work with, but Revolution is definitely one of them. So, okay, so with that, I'll say thank you again for joining us for this presentation. It's been a pleasure being able to speak with you. And if you have any questions, of course, don't forget iMatrix. Here is some information if you want to take this down. It's the number right there is where you can speak with our consultants here at the company, and they'd be happy to set up a presentation custom for each of your individual practices, talk about your goals, and answer, of course, any questions that you have. Okay? So again, thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you again next time. Take care.